Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
And this is a movie that I've been so excited for ever since that Comic-Con trailer came out, and it is the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, Alfred, I have incredible reflexes. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
So the Lego movie was a huge hit. It's a movie that personally I absolutely loved. And for me, Batman stole the show in that movie. So when they announced that he was getting his own spin-off movie, I was crazy excited. For those of you that maybe don't know, Batman is by far my favorite character. I mean, the character literally shaped how I grew up, to be completely honest with you. Batman is my favorite character of any medium ever. So I was crazy excited for this movie on the premise alone, and I gotta tell you, this movie absolutely delivers. It is so funny, but it's also got some real heartfelt things going on in it, and I think what this Lego, Warner Brothers, and specifically their Lego universe they're kind of setting up, does things so incredibly well, and it's so self-aware of what it is that's what really sells you. Because the Lego movie was this great adventure movie visiting all these different realms, and then you had some really heartfelt things at the end, and where they did sort of the same thing here with Batman, only they condensed it and really made it a smaller story. I see where the Lego movie was going and visiting all these different realms, as they called it. Batman is very much, he's in Gotham City. And they introduced a couple things here and there. And I really appreciated the way they acknowledged the Lego movie. They tell you that this movie is indeed in the same universe through very subtle ways that you may even miss a couple of them. And that's what I really like, because this movie wasn't beating you over the head with, look, we're in the same universe as the Lego movie, that's why you should like us. No, it was very much, watch our movie and get it on its own. And to me, one of the best things about these Lego movies is the animation. It's so cool, the way that it looks like legitimate Legos, the way explosions are a bunch of Legos, even smoke, clouds, that sort of stuff. And I just really appreciate the animation towards this, but then it's also the script and the directing of this movie that works, because these guys understand Batman to his core. They understand what makes up Batman, why he is. And this movie is almost an exploration of what, not necessarily why Batman is the way he is, but certain elements that aren't always kind of looked at and dissected in other movies, they actually kind of get into, and that's where the heartfelt things of this movie come in. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie is by every stretch of the imagination a comedy. While the Lego movie was very fun and funny, this movie is a straight up just joke after joke after joke, and almost all of them land. And that's what I applaud Warner Brothers for, is letting them go to the places they go, because they make fun of Warner Brothers properties left and right, including past iterations of Batman. They make fun of every Batman you've ever seen, including Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman, Nolan's movies, Schumacher's movies, through Tim Burton's movies, all the way down to the 1960s Adam West and Burt Ward versions of Batman. These guys knew, like I said, they knew their history. Every villain that I'm pretty sure has ever showed up in a Batman comic, including one called like Condiment Man. Yes, that's a legitimate villain that has appeared in a Batman comic. They appear in this movie. Will Arnett's voice is perfect for this, because it works as a Batman voice, but it's also such a fun kind of spoof of what Christian Bale did in the Nolan movies, that everything about this movie is just so much fun. It's for everyone. There's jokes for comic book fans, for pop culture fans, and just for anyone who can get a good laugh out of, who has got a good sense of humor, can find funny things in this movie. It's done so many things really well. It's for any age group. There's jokes for adults, for teenagers, for little kids. I think a 5-year-old can easily enjoy this movie. It's not too scary, where a Batman movie you can definitely see, it's too dark, it's too scary. They don't do that in this movie at all, because they play and have fun with those sort of elements of Batman and in no way make it scary. One of the things that really surprised me about this movie as well was the music. It definitely is being influenced by that Hans Zimmer, Christopher Nolan, the big drums, intense music of Batman. But it was really good music. I really liked it. They've got a couple of original songs they wrote for this movie, and those are all really clever and fun. They even use some, classic songs from the 70s and 80s that work really well as comedic bits. So, I mean, this movie really is just flat out awesome. if I had any complaints whatsoever, it's that this movie comes at you with so many jokes so many times that there's the occasional time where maybe a joke slightly misses just a little bit, and then they don't tell a joke for 20 or 30 seconds, and that's not the norm in the movie, kind of with the pace of its jokes. And I noticeably found myself kind of finding these little spots of dullness just a little bit because either one joke didn't land or they take a break for like 20 to 30 seconds, and I would just notice that for whatever reason. So that was the only real thing I had with this movie. And I wish the story was a little bit bigger in scope, because where the Lego movie is this giant adventure movie, I understand you gotta shrink down Batman, you gotta put him in Gotham City, but it was kind of a rather, I don't want to, kind of a simplistic story, not real wide range in scope per se. So for me, I think the Lego Batman is a movie that I'm probably going to be seeing multiple times in theaters. It's going to be something I buy on Blu-ray. I'm going to give this thing a pretty high score, and I'm going to give it a score that, in honor of Batman, has kind of always been connected with Batman. I'm going to give the Lego Batman movie an 89% after Tim Burton's, Batman 89. So for me, I think Lego Batman's movie, everybody can get something out of. I think everybody should see this movie, and you probably are going to end up wanting to see it twice because there's so many jokes in here. I'm sure I've missed some. There's so many Easter eggs and hints at other past Batman movies and things like that that you'll notice in the background, or one little character you'll see in the background. And this movie just sets up the universe of Lego so well. I mean, you got returning people like Channing Tatum as Superman, Jonah Hill as Green Lantern that you saw in the Lego movie. So this just expands the universe in such a good way for the Lego movie that I'm excited for anything they do next, including Ninjago, which comes out in September. I have no idea what that movie really is, but that trailer was Lego Ninja, so I'm in. I think everybody, like I said, everybody go check out the Lego Batman movie. And also make sure you're following me on Twitter @NeatMovieNews for all the latest in the world of movies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next time.